Excellencies and fellow members of the Climate Vulnerable Forum, I address you in the midst of a climate crisis that is causing catastrophic damage to our vulnerable economies, our biodiversity, and our fundamental human rights. You will all appreciate the climate negotiations process appears to be moving too slowly. That does not reflect the devastation experienced every day in our communities by our families. Today, we seek the group's endorsement of an initiative aimed at injecting more ambition into the nationally determined contributions of parties to the Paris Agreement. In addition to the UNFCCC and the Paris Agreement, state parties ratified a range of conventions and treaties that contain protections against state activities that lead to global harm. Human rights conventions, law of the seas, and conventions on the rights of the child all contain obligations that states have already agreed to protect the most vulnerable. Clarity on the application of the existing treaties' obligations will motivate climate action. The United Nations International Court of Justice will offer a non-contentious advisory opinion to clarify how international legal norms are understood in the context of climate change. Let me be clear, this is not a court case. The results are non-binding, nor will there be winners or losers. The resolution does not mention sensitive issues like finance for loss and damage. Our collective and constructive approach addresses locally driven actions, and ICJ advisory opinions will hold more moral and legal authority and have in the past changed state behaviors on critical global issues. ICJ will provide the legal clarity needed to develop more ambitious NDCs and save the Paris Agreement to avoid the overshoot of the 1.5 degrees Celsius threshold. Excellencies, we ask the Climate Vulnerable Forum to stand with the more than 85 countries' endorsement of this global ICJ initiative, namely the leaders of the Caribbean, the leaders of the Pacific Island Forum, and the ministers of the Organization of African, Caribbean, and Pacific States. United, we can obtain the simple majority vote required at the current 77th session of the UN General Assembly for the advisory opinion on climate change to the International Court of Justice. My fellow vulnerable nations, we must stand united and resolve the insertion into the Accra-Kinshasa communique of the Climate Vulnerable Forum. This sentence, and I quote, "To strengthen ambitious implementation of the Paris Agreement, the Climate Vulnerable Forum calls for the adoption of a resolution by the UN General Assembly requesting an advisory opinion from the International Court of Justice on the application of states under international law to protect the rights of present and future generations against the adverse effects of climate change," unquote. The people and the government of the Republic of Vanuatu offer their utmost gratitude for your consensus to insert this sentence in the declaration. Vanuatu stands in solidarity with the Climate Vulnerable Forum as we employ every tool to prevent further harm to our beloved nations and islands and people. God bless you all.